If I could only trade one setup for the rest of my life, this would be it. I'm going to break it all down for you in less than 60 seconds. That way you can do it too. First, that stock was the 85% runner today on GXAI. This was the prettiest setup I have seen in weeks. The candle literally teleported off my chart. Now, the first thing when you're planning for setups going in the market open, the first thing we have to identify is, do we have any range to the upside? Because without that, there's no way this is going to continue. The first thing I noticed is this was a major gapper back early in pre-market. This thing ran from $1.40 all the way over $2.10. But then it put in place this double top off the high and sold off. So I know, one, that is a massive area of resistance, and two, this is a massive area of supply. These big wicks off the high signal an area of supply. And we know that that is our room to the upside, where if price does get up into that range, we can then expect to find sellers again, because past price action is usually indicative of future price action. And we also notice we have this high day here followed by this lower high, followed by this lower high. So we have this lower high and higher lows, putting in place this super tight wedge. So now I know the only way to really trade this is a breakout, because this is such a tight wedge that there's no way to really play this unless we get the break of that wedge. Then we have room back up into the previous highs, and then of course we can play over that as well. That actually takes us into market open, where this actually consolidates right here inside of this wedge. Look at this. Pops up into the top of the wedge, rejects again, pops up again and consolidates, and all of this consolidation leads to volume in this price range, which acts as a shelf, and that causes explosive breakouts. With that, we also have every piece of confluence you could ever ask for. We have this flat top high right here from market open. We have VWAP, we have the 90 EMA, we have the 20 EMA, all right here tight beneath price, limiting that downside risk. It truly does not get much better. So listen to this. We have the break of trend, the break of this high after market open, tied off VWAP, tied off the 9, tied off the 20, and we have range back to pre-market highs. It does not get any better than this. So I wait for price to break out. Of course, you don't chase that first breakout candle. I then wait for price to pull back. This candle begins to get bought up on candle number 2, which was my entry. Then of course, it was pretty simple. We had just had range up into pre-market supply from 2 to 220, like we just talked about. And so as you can see, nailed the entry right here on candle number 2 as price confirmed off those pullbacks. And this was one of the most explosive moves I have seen, where it pops straight up into that area of supply, where I then take a full profit up into, again, that pre-market high. No kidding, if I could trade that one setup every single day, I would never have to touch another setup ever again.